Right now, one of the biggest things holding up production on the CNC machine frames is one of the smallest things. Now, Tobias at Metal Trade Solutions in Minnesota has been absolutely phenomenal at working with us to try to create these large pieces, the really complex machine pieces, the two halves of the front triangle in particular, and we're working on the swing arm pieces and we're working on the links. But because Tobias himself isn't operating a massive corporation here and we're all very busy, it would actually help Tobias out if we could find a different source for these relatively simple but nevertheless very important turned parts, things made on a lathe, like the bolts, the suspension pivot shafts, the rear axle, the small parts on these frames that are nevertheless very important. The challenge is when you're dealing with small parts like this, the economics are even less in your favor. Unless you're making 100,000 of these things, it's challenging to drive the cost down. So while it's relatively easy to find places to machine these, it's pretty challenging to not let all the little parts on these bikes spiral the pricing out of control and cost several $100s just for the small parts. So that's what we're working on right now, is sourcing the small lathe parts for the frame while Tobias is working on the large pieces. And now we got multiple suppliers, so life gets more complicated.